Today, we're going to find all the secret links between Ripple and Citibank. For this video, I think we'll find out what might look like an announcement of a new relationship between Ripple and Citibank. Let's talk about some things now. First, let's talk about the link to Medico. Since we know that Ripple did buy Medico, it was pretty much like Ripple took custody of it, which is very important because we'll come back to it later in the movie. This took place in 2022 when Citi and Medico joined forces. Now, this was done to improve the ability of institutions to store digital assets. A direct quote from the global head of security services at Citi said that they were seeing more and more traditional financial assets and new digital assets being turned into digital files. We are coming up with new ideas and building new skills to support types of digital assets that are becoming more important to our clients. In the year 2022, on top of that, we know that there was a small change after Ripple bought Medico. Citi basically said that they might be rethinking their decision to work with Medico as a digital asset custody partner. This is because, again, everyone thought that Ripple's purchase was a big deal. That means there is a view of the Citi. A lot of people's main point was that the SEC case was still going on. This makes me wonder if Citi will use Medico or if it will cause problems. Citi no longer has anything to say. Also, I don't think there's been a big change since then. There have been many changes since 2023. There is no safety in crypto trading. It also doesn't matter how big the trade is. In February, $1.4 billion was stolen from Bybit, which is the fourth largest cryptocurrency exchange by trade volume. This was one of the biggest hacks in the history of cryptocurrency. When we look at the top 10 crypto hacks of all time, most of them happened at big exchanges. So where else can we keep our crypto besides cold storage? Well, iTrust Capital has premium custody accounts that are one of the best places to store your crypto. This is because they are fully closed loop systems that are meant to keep assets separate and safe. The best thing about this is that if you hold digital assets on their platform, you can only withdraw them in USD linked to a US bank account. This means that you can't join an external wallet, which makes you less vulnerable to phishing or unauthorized transfers. So if you want to use one of the safest places to store your crypto, you can sign up right now using my link in the description below. If you put $1,000, you'll get an extra $100 in bonus funds. As an example, Citi did say in February of this year that they were thinking about moving into managing cryptocurrency. By the way, this is the third largest bank in the US. Also, I agree that this is a pretty big message. It shows that Citi agrees with what's going on in crypto. They expect this to be the way things go from now on. They know that at some point, every single financial object will be turned into a token. This is a very big deal. On top of that, we know that at Ripple Swell, which happened not long ago, guess who is sitting with Fidelity and Franklin Templeton? Yes, Citi. Institutional custody and tokenization with financial banks are at the heart of all of this, and Reese Merrick was there. An interesting thing about this is that I think we will see a Fidelity XRP ETF at some point, just like we saw a Franklin Templeton XRP ETF. The question now is, what part does the Citi play? Is Citi only going to work with Ripple? Will they be able to connect with Ripple custody? What's going to happen here, for example? A lot of people think that most of the big banks and institutional players that go to Ripple Swell and take part in these discussions are actually Ripple partners or users. I agree that many of the companies at Ripple Swell have partnered with or launched a product around XRP at some point. On top of that, this makes me think of the Converge podcast. I know a lot of people will look at this and say something like, this is fake, but there is a real Converge podcast. I believe this is from late 2023. That date could be wrong for me. It's possible that it is really 2024. No matter what though, three important people were talking at or on this show. New Rails to New Worlds, Building Inclusive Innovative Infrastructures for Global Payments was the name of this podcast. This is with the global head of payments and PMI at Swift, the head of digital assets at Citi, the same head of digital assets who worked at Ripple Swell, and the head of payment products at Ripple. Basically, in this show, they're talking about competitiveness. Let's take a step back for a moment. Oh no, Ripple is now in competition with Citi or Swift. Oh, Ripple is up against Citi. They didn't talk about competition in this show. Instead, they talked about how they can help each other. That's a strong claim. Once more, the talk in this podcast was very important. A lot of people say, well, it's from a few years ago. It doesn't matter. These people have been working on things and talking about them for a very long time. There are a lot of goods that have been in the works for years that are coming out today. Also, let's go back to September of this year. This was sent from Bank XRP. Citi will connect its blockchain platform, Citi Token Services, because they do have a blockchain platform that can clear USD and make 247 instant cross-border payments between banks for US and UK institutional customers. I'm going to say it now. No, it doesn't talk about XRP. No, Ripple is not talked about. We only know that Citi is combining Citi Token Services with 24/7 USD clearing to allow cross-border payments and better control of liquidity. We don't understand how they can do this. We're sure they're doing it. The main thing we're looking at right now is cross-border payments and cash flow. These are two of the most important things that Ripple has been working on for a long time. Besides that, we also heard from the CEO of the Citi. I'm going to show you this video clip one more time. Hey guys, this is Jane Frazier talking about tokenization. I know you've heard this a million times already. A client wants to send money anywhere in the world right away, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without any problems. That's how tokens work. The world's banks are very optimistic about RWAS. Look it over. Let us know what makes you so excited about tokenized payments and how they might be better than stablecoin. Yes, when it comes to the payment area, it all comes down to what the client wants. So a client wants to send money anywhere in the world right away, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They want to do it safely and without any major problems. That's what tokenization does. Tokenization turns whole markets into digital ones. And we've been working hard to make sure we can meet that client's use case. The goal is to be able to move money instantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We just said that we're adding another coin because we're adding the euro today along with the dollar, the pound, the Hong Kong dollar, and the Singapore dollar. When you use our digital ticket services, you can get 247 clearing. We can now move money between 270 more banks, so we can move instantly and easily to other banks as well as within the Citi system. This is why I'm really excited about the changes you can see in payments. Tokenization seems to be the best way to help the client. Yes, I do understand. The main goal here is to quickly send money around the world without any problems. What? Where else have you heard this? What Ripple calls the Internet of Value. What is the most important sign that Citi and Ripple are working on something together or might even be partnering? Is it just the link to medicine? Is it just these links to these past events? Here is something from Ripple's global relationships. Good morning from the Ripple office in Singapore. From that picture, we can see that the city is very pretty. It's right next to the Ripple buildings. After that, he replies with cash.